Hello?
Hello, I'm calling about the packet.
Yeah?
Okay, I'm in Texas. Does this Texas travel packet work in Texas?
Well, that's a good question. Okay, so it depends. I mean, what do you? Let's start out with saying, what do you mean by work?
Okay, right. Okay, well, look, I am sick and tired of these.
Oh,
I'm sick and tired of them. I'm sick and tired of them thinking they have authority over me.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm asking, and insurance, I think is a fraud. And so my question to you is, okay, I'm going to turn in my driver's license after I get my passport renewed.
Yeah.
And if I'm off station, just tell me.
Nah, I don't see anything wrong with what you're saying. If you're looking for me to kind of like help with guidance, I mean, I feel like everybody is, we have this gift to be able to do whatever we want to do as long as we're not hurting anybody else. Would you agree?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is a precious gift, very valuable, right? So, that's an honorable thing. I think, though, it sounds like what you want to do with returning something that you don't want to. It sounds like you maybe don't want to participate in any longer or something.
No, I don't. I'm sick and tired of them.
Yeah. So back to your original question. When you say, does this work? Will it work? I'm going to have to tell you that we have to put the work in, and it's not something people want to hear, but it's crazy because I'm learning things. Right? I'm learning things every day, and whoa, you know what? Like a week ago, I started learning this thing where it was hard to even see it to begin with, but it started in my own brain. It's so crazy. Like, and, yeah, somebody had to slap me, to make me see. And now, I can't imagine how I ever lived without being able to see. So, it's just pretty crazy.
I got you. I'm going to put my headphones on so I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to set my hands free in case I need to let that down.
Yeah, right. Oh, I'm just thinking we should all have an open mind, and that's just a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah. Listen, this is what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah.
I finally found where. Oh my God! I finally found where to get a hold of you, and
yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm here in Texas. I'm in Austin, enemy territory.
Where's that in comparison to DFW? I mean, not that I've never been to Texas.
It's down in the center of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have screwed this town up totally.
And where's Austin? When I think of Austin, I think of music. Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big music capital over here. But yeah, they screwed this town up. It's nothing like it was in the 70s. They've got, you were supposed to keep the Capitol in view from from every fourth point in the city. Buildings, you can't even see the Capitol anymore.
You know what? That was strange. They did that in Salt Lake, too. Well, no, Salt Lake has the Capitol on a hill. They didn't do that in Salt Lake. But I noticed they built all kinds of buildings all around the Mormon temple. It's kind of dwarfed now by all the buildings around it. But the Capitol was up on a hill. So that's...
nothing I could do, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Well, so this is what I have in mind. I'm going to... I'm not well educated on your videos.
Yeah.
Because there's always something that comes up that interrupts me. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get my passport.
Yeah.
Do I need to go get a state ID, or that's not necessary?
Oh, I don't want to burst any bubbles here, but that's what I'm here to do, I guess. Right? I have no problem with you going the passport route. A lot of people do that. Okay. No problem, right? But then, a while back, I started thinking, if I go get a passport, who is that identity accredited by and affiliated with? Those are two very important terms to me, because it's who am I identifying with in this, for lack of a better term, reality? Am I going to identify with some... Well, and see, there's no I have no problem with this. Identifying with and we always have to make this clear, right? That I'm identifying with something that essentially I, in association with a bunch of other people, have created to protect us and to defend our rights, right? And when it's not performing those essential things that it was created for by us, it starts getting, it starts getting to a place where it's not doing what it was intended for in the first place. So, like I said, I have no problem, because it, just like I have no problem with people that, and I myself included, that want to use dollar bills. You know what I mean? We have no other option. We have to do something to be able to survive. So I will use dollar bills. I turn them into other things, but it's just like a medium of exchange, or a current, my use of a dollar does not make, like, there's weird things that people say, like, because you use a dollar and it's legal tender, now you have to follow everything legal. Here's another example. You just used a zip code on there. Because you used a zip code, you just submitted to federal jurisdiction, right? You've heard that one? Have you heard that one?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's common. It's common. And my rebuttal to that is, put it in brackets if you're uncomfortable with it. What I do is my address right now is care of Divine Authority. Everything goes to the Divine Authority. So that's who I get my mail in the name of. And, that works just fine. But, because who is anyone to tell me that I'm not, I don't know. It's just, that's what I do. That's what my ID is as well, though.
Oh, really?
So instead of having...
So you don't go by a surname?
Well, I just bought a nice ID printer, and I just make cards for people for ID. And it's just a way to say that you're not a member of their club. It's like, oh, am I going to be mistaken of being a member of Costco when really I'm a member of Sam's Club. This is just evidence that you're not, that you're a member of a different club. So I'm not saying that it can't be used in, with some other thing, like something from the state or something. I'm just saying that my personal preference is to, man, it's tough, but I don't want to have any false idols. And I feel like God blesses me by not forsaking him. So, it's just my personal preference. I can't tell people what to do. Having a passport, it has worked. I've seen it work, and what works though also is being respectful. And, man, the thing I was trying to tell you earlier about me learning stuff, I've been going inside myself and looking at things that I have been blind to for 48 years. Things that happened like when I was a child that affect things I do today that make me blind and not even able to see, me defeating myself before I even start. So holy cow, I thought I knew a lot before, but oh man.
Well, I've always felt. Now, I'm down here in Texas, okay? I'm not, we used to call, I'm 66.
Yeah.
We used to call it the surfers and kickers, ship kickers.
Yeah.
So, cowboys and hippies, basically. I have never fit in either one of those categories. And, it's like a round pig trying to fit into their damn square hole, it's just,
yeah.
I've never felt, and people have ostracized me for that, and I just really don't give a damn because, they have an opinion of me. Well, screw that. That opinion of me is not any of my business, first of all, and, they think what they want to think. That's on them. I know who I am. I'm a good person. And, but what I am sick of is these guys thinking that when they walk up and talk to you, that they immediately have authority over them. I woke up, I had a 40-foot pusher, a Bluebird pusher, motorhome, very nice, and I woke up one day, I was a news junkie, and I recorded every bit of news I could get, and I'd sit down and watch it in the afternoons. And all of a sudden, one day, it was like somebody flipped the switch. Wait a minute, these guys were lying, now these guys are lying, and these guys are telling the truth. What the hell's going on here? And I thought I was losing my mind. And what it was is I was waking up. God was waking me up,
yeah.
And so I couldn't make myself go get a job. I absolutely could not make myself go get a job. And it was, so I thought I was losing my mind. So I went over to my neighbor and I said, "You see that motorhome right there?" I was making payments on it, right? And I told him, I said, "Do you want to take over the payments on that? No equity, no nothing, just here's the keys." And he dropped his teeth out of his head. And I gave away everything that I had, and I went to the beach, and I stayed at the beach for a month, and things started coming together. And I started waking up more and more, and it's been 5 years later, and here I am.
Yeah.
I do a lot of research on. I'm an anon. I don't know if you know what that is, but I follow Q.
Yeah.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are out there knocking Q and saying, "Oh, this prediction didn't come true, or whatever." And I'm staying out of all that. You know what I learned a long time ago about predictions?
Oh, right. You can't put a date on anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to purchase your packet, and I'm wanting I'm going to turn in my driver's license, and I'm going to turn in my license plate, and I'm going to put this thing on, and I'm going to keep anything out of my vehicle that might be illegal.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go for it. And now, okay, this is one of my questions, and I haven't been able to do the research on this yet.
All right.
About insurance.
Okay. Let me mention something to you real quick about this.
Okay.
Look for a car that has no title. You can find those cheap, like on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. No title cars that run still. Usually you can find one $500 to $1,000. Start out with a car that's going to be a liability for them to want to steal from you. That will go a long ways in your favor from the get-go. And with that being said, the insurance thing, have you ever been charged with that before? Have you ever not maintained insurance and been in trouble about it?
No, never got a ticket for it.
Okay, well, let me tell you my experience as far as that has gone. And I'm not trying to tell you one way or another what you should think or anything, but I'm just going to tell you what my experience has been during the course of my several times that I've got in trouble for stupid, things that were non-crimes. And that's the basic foundation of all this, is that if there's no injured party pointing the finger at me, and the people of the state of, quote unquote, are not a victim, unless they can claim, unless they can show where I've harmed. And a witness to me breaking a rule is not a witness that I have harmed someone. You know what I mean? So with that being said, the insurance thing has never been a problem. And I think what the thing is, back when I was younger, when I first started doing this kind of stuff, well, I've always been a rebel, right? But the first time I got pulled over without a license, and I was going to make a stand, and give the cop a public servant questionnaire instead of a state driver's license or ID. I forget where I was going with this. It was good. When I first started doing that, it would always be about my point. Yeah, I remember now. Thank you so much for that one word hint that you gave me just now. But I was drinking, and I believe on video the cop, one of them said, "I smell alcohol," and another one said, "Oh, I smell marijuana." And then I said something like, "Oh, I smell and here's bacon," or something. But that was, they didn't charge me with any of those things. They were more concerned about just the driving, it was like driving while suspended or something back then, because I didn't, I hadn't done my due diligence as far as making it known that I don't want to be a party to fraud anymore. But we'll get to that after this insurance thing. Hold on just a second. The insurance, the point that I'm trying to get at is that they don't usually go for that. And I'm probably maybe shooting myself in the foot by saying that, trying to manifest something other than what I don't know. Anyway, other than that, the insurance thing, they've never charged me with it. And I think the reason why is because the judge will know that if you're already fighting this stuff, it's wrong it's always going to be wrong to force you to buy a product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So when he's saying that you are now forced to buy some product that is, you have to be able to exercise a right, they're getting into some kind of, shady territory there, because he's now doing something that appears to be racketeering by forcing you to buy a product. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the insurance thing, I think they know to keep that one at arm's length, because them trying to force you to buy a product, even if it's insurance, and insurance, wow, that's a product, isn't it? Because you don't ever get anything. Yeah, and if you put in too many claims, they what do they do? You know what I mean? They cut you off or increase the premiums or whatever they need to do, whatever. But essentially, the insurance thing, yeah, you know what I answer? I answer this question so many times, like, and I've been buying advertising on Facebook to go outside of the little circle they like to keep me in, you know what I mean? So I've been getting these kind of questions. People say, you know, like, what are you going to do if you kill my family? And I say, what are you going to do if you kill somebody's family? You know, how much money is an insurance company going to need to pay out to resurrect some people that are dead? You know, I don't think that's even in the realm of possibility. So them forcing you to buy a product is wrong. And what you can do besides making that point, and like what I said I was going to get to earlier about the whole fraud thing, that's how I would handle any kind of ticket, too. I wouldn't try to avoid it, but I would be in contact with whoever is trying to bring the charge saying, look, I just have a moral problem with being a party to fraud. And fraud is a word that is not to be taken lightly. So if you're going to say the word fraud, you have to be able to explain what's going on. Does that make sense? So if I'm going to say that I don't want to be a party to fraud, I just said I have to be able to explain that. And how I do that is I simply, a lot of people say, just tell them you don't understand, because that means you don't stand under their authority, right? I think I just talked about this in a video yesterday, a live video. But, I would want to try to work with them, and try to have them evidence where we are in a relationship where they are in a position where they are telling me, or they are able to give me orders, or, act like an employer or someone who I am involuntary serve as an involuntary servant to, that this is the fraud, is where they're trying to make demands upon me where they can't either A, show a victim that I have harmed, or B, show a contract that I have entered into. Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
I'm getting another call from Maryland right now.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on bonding? Getting a bond?
Bonding, yeah. See, where I was going with the insurance before is that, okay, we've determined that it's more or less essentially a racketeering scam, right?
Right.
So, to expand on that, I want to do whatever I can to make myself appear to be responsible for my actions. And I can say that having an insurance policy, yeah, they might pay a claim if they'll probably always pay out if it's determined to be my fault, but then they'll drop me if there's, if I do it more than however many times. But what I'm trying to get at, I guess, is that we just want to be able to evidence, and I'm not saying we have to, because that's a Fifth Amendment, Fourth Amendment thing. If they make us provide evidence that we're responsible for ourselves, but I want to be out there accepting 100% liability for my actions, because I feel that takes me to a level of responsibility where I am comfortable, because I want to be the one that Yeah, I mentioned this in my book. It's about 100% responsibility for our actions. If I hit somebody, I take responsibility. If somebody hits me, I take responsibility for that too. I'm not saying all the way. I'm not saying what I'm saying is that if we each take responsibility for our share, then there will never be, we'll never have, we'll get rid of that whole thing where there has to be an injured party and a victim. And when there's no injured party or a victim, there's no dispute. There's no adversaries anymore, and we have no need for court. So, with the insurance thing and the bonding, I know I'm going on and on about an answer for that, but the short answer for that is, yeah, be responsible. And if you need a bond or something, like even if it's the surety bond, the conveyance bond that I have in the thing, in the package that is 21 ounces of silver that you pledge to someone, that you trust, that can vouch for it. And then, then that's evidence that you're responsible, or actually it's evidence that you're not destitute. But see, it's also evidence that you want to take responsibility for your actions by even doing that action in the first place.
Okay.
So
your packet will explain all that.
Yeah, it explains all that. But you know what? I feel like I'm doing a better job explaining it to you, talking to you like I am now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but I don't know. Yeah, it's essentially just the way I look at it is I don't want to forsake my Creator because He gives me. Wow, He just showers me with blessings when I don't forsake Him, and it makes me really just want to please Him and be a joyful servant. See, I'm a servant too. I'm God's servant. And when I say God, I can't say what God is. I'm just using a word that words aren't enough. You know what I mean? So, but God is, I feel like I do have a connection to, like some really powerful knowledge, through me, through my intuition, and I feel like I want to be able to let God work through me and always do the right thing. So, and that it's not always the easy thing, but it is the right thing. And even when even when I hurt from things, I learn from things. So, I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you to do what you feel you are ready to do. And yeah. So.
I tell you, man. It's got to the point to where screw these sub bitches.
Yeah.
Who the hell is one man able to walk up to another man and tell him what to do? No, you ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that. It's just it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the ego that they present is just unbelievable.
Oh, talk about ego. Oh, you know what? I was wrapped up in my own little ego bubble until just really recently, in a way. So it's so crazy to see how blind I was. And you know what's sad? I have a friend that I really care about, and I saw him trying to use manipulation tactics on me, and it's not healthy. He was trying to tell me, if you don't make a way for me to get donations on this website, I'm going to stop giving you paperwork. And I was like, I was thinking, I don't need paperwork. I don't need paperwork. What do I need? I've never asked for I've never needed that. But the fact that he was trying to manipulate me into doing something for him because of you know, like I'm going to take away my friendship if you don't do something for me, kind of thing. That's kind of hurtful. And I'm
people will tell you who they are.
Yeah.
You have to listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to listen to them because they will tell you exactly who they are.
You know what though? It's frightful to me to think about what I may have done to other people without even seeing it. So it's
well,
like
that's where you are now.
Yeah.
You're realizing that.
Oh, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it vividly.
Yeah. I got off of this fluoride water.
Oh, yeah.
I started drinking distilled water.
Yeah.
And man, I'm gonna tell you, my dreams are like vivid.
Wow.
Yeah, and when I run out of distilled water and I have to drink this dead water that they put in these bottles, I can't even hardly get it down. It's just like dead.
Yeah.
Dead water. And I don't know. We're fixing to find out a lot of things that are going to be revealed to us about where God actually is. And I believe that God is actually your DNA.
Uh-huh. And that's what they're trying to take away with the vaccine. That's what's so scary to me.
Well, hey, I'm not taking it.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not taking it. And they can pry my gun out of my hand, after they kill me, because I will kill every one of their asses if they try to come after me to do that.
Hey.
I basically want to get off the grid with these people.
Yeah.
It's just everything they do is just against us. So.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you.
Okay.
I really got to get going because it's almost it's almost too late to do stuff during the business hours. But maybe we could continue this conversation later. And I want to tell you that usually I would charge for a conversation like this, but I'm having a new realization, and I want to give this. I feel like we had a good conversation. I want to give it away. So if I removed any kind of personally identifying information from this call, can I post it publicly?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can and you can call me back, dude.
All right.
What is your name?
I'm Trent.
What label do you go by?
I'm Trent Goodbody. Trent Goodbody, Freedom from Government.
Okay.
Right on.
And you got my phone number.
Yep.
If you feel like calling me, just fire away. I don't.
All right.
I'm retired. I just research.
Yeah. Cool.
I do a lot of research, dude. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase your packet. Get that headed this way.
All right. Hey, thank you.
Hey, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.